Let's welcome the main leader that we would like to listen to. She is a celebrated person in her domain, the ex-MD of Standard Bank in UK, a leader who has led many domains, research, and her most recent assignment has been with GSK. She is also contributing heavily as an independent director. She's been involved in ESG and I think a plethora of very important domains. So, can we have Dr. Nupur on screen and hear from her more about her rather than me talking about it? We talk very frequently, we interact very frequently. Dr. Nupur, can I please request you to be on screen with us?
Good morning, Sugita. How are you? And very, very happy to meet such eminent people on this call, and that too on a Sunday. So, as they say in Hindi, dil garden ho gaya. I would only say that I think I really loved, and it kind of resonated with me, what all the eminent colleagues here said, is that we will not become irrelevant. It is only that we will become better. And what I will do in my own humble self is that I'll try to explain through my life's journey what I have learned. Now, these are my personal views, but my personal views has resulted in billions of revenue increases and saves without too much of effort or building the Ram Setu, as you call it. So, if you're okay with that sort of an approach, I will also make some examples. Please do not get offended by it. It's only to make it relevant and put in a little bit of a spice of a humor, which sometimes makes some dry topics more interesting. And probably it will get you the funding, it will get you the friendship with the business, and the tie up with the team. If that format works, it will be lovely. So Geeta, I live with a alpha gen kid at home. So please use your emoticons. If you don't like, please feel free to interject, share your life stories if it is not again, if it's against, because the deal that I have with Sugita is that I will also get reverse mentored with you. If that format is okay, then I will proceed ahead. So if it's okay, can people give a thumbs up, please?
Can we have a thumbs up from all of you? Lovely,
Sure,
lovely.
sure.
Super.
Because Sugita, I have a problem. I'm an Indian lady, and my mom doesn't think I'm very intelligent. In fact, recently when I got my second PhD, she's in Mumbai, and she says, "How much percentage?" And I said, "Mom, I've got a PhD in sustainable AI and pharma and banking." She said, "How much percentage?" Because some other person has got 93%. I said, it doesn't work like that. It's like you got the PhD plus. So no pressure, but I wanted to make sure that I can simplify it for you. So Geeta, I'll give you a steer to you. You let me know when I can start.
Absolutely, Nupur. Please get started. But firstly, we'd like to know a little more about you. And of course, we look forward to your lovely sense of humor. I keep enjoying it time and again, but then I would like everyone to have a taste of it as well. So over to
Sure,
you.
sure. Sure, thank you. I would honestly say that I'm a product of two very strong communities. One is that my dad's from Delhi, defense guy. My mother is from Maharashtra. So every time there was a fight, it was a fight between the Marathas and the Mughals. I was married to somebody from Hyderabad. So again, there's a fight with Nizam and Shivaji Maharaj. But the point is that in all three cultures, we have been taught to be resilient, never giving up, and always finding a way out. So, and doing it authentically, something that lasts. If you see our forts in all three locations, they are still standing. Our roads may have potholes, but our forts are still standing. So, I come from that background. I started my journey as you would really be surprised as a BCom or maths and computer applications honors person. But then on went on to do my semesters at Penn State for coding and tech and other things. And then Stanford happened, design thinking. and strategic execution and started working in the Stanford labs. Got my first PhD from Johns Hopkins. Now they will say, "Oh my God, kitna paisa laga hoga?" My daughter's lofty dreams. I know. I see her bill coming in from her IB school. It was not like that. Um, Somewhere when I was in the US, my grandmother, who almost raised me, because my parents used to travel a lot for the naval travels, and he was an MEA. Um, they raised me, and she got Alzheimer's. And she is, if you read about Reba Chakrabarti, she's one of the principals of girls' schools in Bihar region. She actually went there and set up. So that person slowly losing their mind, they're forgetting, right? So I got an opportunity at Johns Hopkins Medical to research about Alzheimer's and cure for Alzheimer's. We're doing something on taking brain cells from sharks and using vaccines so that she recovers. That's the only altruistic reason that I went into finance. Otherwise, I'm a hardcore banker, airspace person. But what I learned from there was practical pain points that we face daily when we go to office. Our businesses fail, our technology faces, operations people face. When a system goes down or infra goes down during peak seasons, what do they face? The point is, life still evolves in Excel. Life is still there in log files that are there in tons. So however much the shiny technology comes, it's like an iceberg that 80-90% is down, and we have to find a very easy way of solving it. That gave me an idea saying that, this traditional mathematical way of academic ML that was going on in those days, that has to be made applicable so that people who are doing research, they will say, just run the program and it will do them. I don't have to learn ML for that. I should make it easy. I should wrap it in it. So somebody actually at that point told me, and that person became my mentor later on. That is Professor Andrew Nick. He's the Stanford AI head and one of the 13 people who sit on OpenAI board. He said, "See, AI is like electricity. When I put on the switch, the bulb has to light. Whether you put gold-plated, copper-plated wires, I don't care. If bulb is not lit 100% or even brighter, then that story is flop, because business doesn't want to know. Now AI everybody knows, but AI is what AI does. So bulb cannot be lit at 40% and 60%, and I'm not talking about bulbs, I'm talking about ROI here. So thereafter, I had a chance to pursue my PhD, which is on sustainable AI. Sustainable AI is on scalable AI and things that last. And for those who are familiar with the ISP, I've been as part of their incubation with ISP leadership for ISP cohort 5. And along with that, like I have that Suleimani Kida that if I learn something, I got to apply. I'm like that only. So we work with Apollo programs, and I'm now part of two vital groups in India. One is, of course, the board that Sugita ma'am was referring to, but two very things which is very close to my heart. One is the Atal Bihari Vajpayee Sustainable Incubation Center in Gujarat under PM Modi. And the second part of it is Quantum India movement for AI. Because we are talking quantum, lekin ho kuch nahi raha hai. So for two governments, one in Andhra Pradesh and the other one which is here and coming up in Bangalore. So that is about me. My forte is that I will try to simplify the complex, just like a simple woman like me understands. We will explain that to you. Secondly, is that you will get your results faster. And thirdly, it will not cost much. And fourthly, people will come to you rather than you trying to push AI. So these are very easily said than done. People are different, situations are different, use cases are different. And what I will humbly try to do during the journey of my call is within a few slides. And Sugita ma'am, with your permission, I'd like to share these slides over to a gentleman and audience in this call so that you are able to leverage and make those pivotal decisions in your daily discussion. Is that that's just about me? And I'm a mother to an 8-year-old. They are learning AI in school now. Their semester are in Jira Sprint. They used Arduino kits and Raspberry Pi kits. So I am afraid that the Alpha Gen people will catch up and I will truly become irrelevant. So that's why I do what I do. Any questions? Happy to answer.
Nupur, let's listen more from you, and I'm sure people are going to be very inquisitive, and there are going to be tons of questions. The
Sure.
ball
Ma'am,
is
I
in
won't
your
be
court.
able to, yeah, I won't be able to see the screen, but do let me know if you're able to see my screen. Is the screen visible? Can I put it on full mode or this mode works?
Yes, yes, it is visible, and if you can put it on the full mode, that is going to be great. Maybe on the slideshow.
Yeah, no, no, no. This is, okay, this one's fine.
Yeah.
So that was the topic, saying that how do I get, we have very good ambition, and I'm so happy that on a Sunday morning, people on this call are so clear about AI and there is no misnomer whatsoever. So I'll quickly jump into the areas. So, like I said, I already, walked you through the journey, but what I can do, and without this approach, what you will face, that's what I wanted to call out. This is a humble thing, no critique, saying that enterprises overspend, there is actually partial return, and you miss the opportunity to scale. Nobody's fault, but it is like a marriage bus. If you are all crowding in and you forget the groom, then I think you have a situation. And that's exactly what's happening. We are not replacing people. And I said, my one of our audience members have, I just was joining in when they said that it's just replacing limits and the way we do work. But the first thing is wisdom. And if you see my life's journey here at the far end, I'll just use my laser pointer here. Everything is stitched together. I didn't start as leadership. I'm honestly telling you, Sugita ma'am scolds me for this, but all I wanted to do was to be a good daughter-in-law and basically do a job. But what happened is that because of my finance background, then my forensic background, then I worked for the US Federal, I worked for the Pentagon, some really epic stuff that probably I can't disclose due to NDA, secretive stuff as well. But they talked about scale and precision. Then into high-tech industry in California, banking in a very big way. And somehow I was finding that in these five different industries, some of the pain points are similar, just like we might be different people, but we all suffer sometime or the other in our life with tooth pain and we have to get a root canal done. Now, how painful your root canal is depending on the approach you take. And that's one of the reasons that probably as I rose through the ranks, that authenticity and stickability of the solution is what got me through. Uh, the other part of it is that I'm going to be very blunt because this is what I'm seeing for the last 3 years. We want to bridge the gap. We all have our decks in place, we have our STPs or the funding requirements, and that every organization does. Good. But if you see most of the conversations, whether we like it or not, AI definitely talks about rebadging people. That's the first headcount that we talk about. Let's be true to our hearts. And second thing is that they talk about what is the cost of operation reduction, what is the spend reduction, what is the automation reduction. So we are still thinking, and especially at the GCC level, I would say, we're still thinking, how do I bring my cost down? But if you want to move from prompt to profit, it's not only the cost equation, it is the process, people, technology, and we call it the PPTR. Because cost you can only reduce so much in a dynamic tariff world, but revenue you can increase exponentially, and I'll show you how. So first is being very honest with yourself, brutally honest to yourself, saying that I'm understanding my AI capabilities. This is what we have. So we do a heat map. This is the state of the union. Do not relabel people as AI if they have read AI. They need to be able to work on AI. And we will also scale that up in a few weeks, days also. Then recognizing the AI risk, this any consultant will come and tell you. Big Fours and especially McKinsey's have a wonderful deck for it, and they will also tell you what are the pitfalls of not doing AI. Your peers might be saying, "मेरे company में तो AI हो रहा है, आप AI कर रहे हो कि नहीं?" So you feel that if I have to kind of show up on my appraisal, then what AI stuff have I done in my department, right? And then finally preparing the AI for leadership. So I'm sorry, but I had put in a little bit of a humor here, saying that ambition to hai, but the fact is that if you read the 2025 McKinsey report, this is something that it is a quotable quote. I would request you to use it in your LinkedIn post to kind of create that amplifier effect. Only 93% of projects that started in 2023 and got delivered have had any yield. I'm talking about any yield, not even 100%. Then 97% of all POCs that you do in your hackathons never make it to MVP. And out of that, 68% MVPs never scale. So do you understand what is the tip of the iceberg? Last but not the least, just because AI here, and I just came back from Kumbh, one very good sadhu told me something. I don't even know his name, but when I came out of the water, he said, sorry, everybody follows Hindi here, right? Okay. So I was feeling a little vulnerable, with there was a few deaths in my family, and I was feeling a little vulnerable and emotional. And he was smoking his whatever, and he said, "Beta, पाप तो धो लिए, कर्म का क्या करोगे?" It was so profound. Is because you might wash out going forward whatever sins of the past, but tech legacy, tech debt, those are your karma because these are the actions of the past. You got to remediate them as well. Otherwise, what happens? आपको बता रहा है गंगा जल है AI, but it turns out to be snake oil. So before you choose, and then there is another fight. Departments will fight. Business wants to buy external tool. Tech wants to create its own tool. The first discussion is not to make or buy. It is about whether it will integrate and whether it will scale. Now, I was a few months back, in January. Ananda ji, you look very pensive. तो मैं आपको थोड़ा सा बता दे रही हूँ. How many of y'all order through Swiggy or Zomato? Pressure होता है ना? So here's something that somebody explained to me. She said, "Why are you thinking so much about a deck? It's like a Swiggy problem." I said, "Please explain." So what is a Swiggy problem? कि suppose घर पे there is rice or roti and people want to say, नहीं नहीं पापा मुझे बाहर से मंगवाना है, I want to eat something tasty. So what you do is that if you order everything, it's 1,000, 2,000 rupee bill. So what you say ठीक है घर का भी लीजिए, बाहर का भी कोई पनीर मक्खनी मंगवा दीजिए. So what happens is 200-300 रुपए में बाहर का भी हो गया and घर का भी पान खाना वेस्ट नहीं हुआ. Otherwise, if you just go full on outside, then the house food gets wasted or you end up eating stale dal the next day. Right? So that is exactly the use case that you use for AI in terms of make and buy decisions. And I already explained the it's got to work sort of scenario, which is about this AI electricity. This is a Stanford quote, again, quotable quote for your use. More importantly, y'all are all leaders, and I most humbly urge you to make this point loud and clear in the SLT and the LT calls. You're making a vision for 5 years, but AI is changing every 6 months to a year. It's like I'm trying to buy a clothes for my 8-year-old who's growing up every 6 months, and I'm trying to buy clothes for her 5 years back. It will not fit. It will not be relevant. Fashions change. So every 6 months, you have to see whether the paradigm is same or not. And more importantly, I've had a name in GSK, and please promise me you all will not use this outside the call. They called me two names I'm famous for in GSK. One name is called Garibo Ka AI. Now, why Garibo Ka AI? When Thank you, Ananda ji, for the smile. थोड़ी इज्जत लग ली आपने. But the point is, whenever a consultant came in from outside and they said, I want to do AI, their first starting cost started from $250K. उससे नीचे तो कोई बात ही नहीं कर रहा था. What I have done is that using the frameworks that I will show you in subsequent PPTs, I brought down a particular use case called Vala. 68 countries, 6 languages, 89,000 users, 400 users concurrently. Just guess the amount. If somebody can put it in the chat, how much money would you take as leaders to implement this? Let's say this is an AI on Azure solution. कितना charge करेंगे आप? Sandeep ji, I see you are calculating. Can you put in the chat how much will you charge? Sukita ji, little bit of engagement, please.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear from you. If you've calculated, if not, even a ballpark estimate would work.
Mota, very high level. How much? I'll also know how much I can charge. So, but
Okay,
how much
so
you
now
charge?
we have a few figures in the chat. Things like 100 billion, less than 100K. Abhishek is saying after your comment of Garibon Ka AI. Ashish Dhawan says 30K. Naveen says 1 million USD, 1 million plus. Sonali says 60K USD. Neeraj 50K. Uh, well, Shalab says 10 lakhs. Now, we are
Okay, so
hearing the
Sharad and
similar.
Sonali, आपका compute ही उतना नहीं होगा. So, but I would say, Sonali, you came little closer. Our first MVP, that costed around 22K, and the overall 5 release solution has costed us around 98,700 pounds. Now, if for people who are doing such large tech projects, even not AI, that is huge. And iska ROI, do you know how much is it? It's 14.6 million.
Oh,
Achieved this year. So when I explained it to somebody in our Nagpur plant, they said, Madam, mujhe bhi AI mein le lo. This has even got higher returns than smuggling. Right? So this is what AI is. I did a mixture of all, and I will also share my journey so that it inspires you, to carve your own journey. And anything, I'm there to help. Right? It's not about payment. I'm there to help. And the last two things, it cannot be tech first. There's a flower seller in Shivaji Nagar in Bangalore. He always says this thing, ki, Madam, before you buy the flower, ask the occasion. Are you buying the flowers for marriage, for Valentine's Day, or for funeral? Like in Bengalis, you do not give a girl Rajnigandha when you meet and confess your love. Rajnigandha is used when the person is dearly departed. So although it smells very nice, it is culturally off. Now, exactly same thing is that if you do the tech without understanding the domain, there are huge problems. We face this problem because when I was brought here into GSK, they said, Madam, you will lead a very large team. I was like, yeah. And I had 17 people. So I said, large in what way? तो बोलते इनका दिल बड़ा है. I said, okay, let's start with that. Sandeep, yeah, I know. कहीं कहीं मैंने कहा ना कि we are in this group because I was telling Sugita that हमारा दर्द का रिश्ता है. We've been through that. So I think it will resonate. But from that, I've increased them to around 179 people, right? Now, not all of them are engineers or data scientists or AI people. There are some people from the domain as well. And one humble observation that I've seen is that the domain people who learned AI, their projects are far more faster, far more on time, far more on content, and they pass UAT tests much faster than just coders who are like fresh out of college, or they're just technologists without any understanding. There was one coder whose father used to own a kirana shop in Jaipur, and he said, "Madam, मुझे AI सीखना है." I said, "Do you know how to write code?" उसका English भी खराब है. So the good part about is AI is spelling mistakes are also ignored by AI, so it doesn't matter if you're good in English or not. He is one of our best coders, prompt coders, vibe coders in the procurement, digital procurement department. So far, 3 projects have been delivered in last 17 months. Why? Is because he understands how the business is done. He will not mistake between invoice comes first or PO comes first. He knows PO comes first, invoice comes, and then thereafter. So he knows the flow. So when he is coding, when he is creating those embeddings, he will know what to do. And finally, something that I have not been able to solve, and I do refer to Sugita many times for that, is that when I came to India and those CVs started coming to me, I actually called her up and I called my mom and I said, I have achieved nothing in my life because the CVs are so well written. They've done everything. One person has said he's got 20 years of experience in AWS SageMaker. But the problem is that SageMaker was launched itself in November 2017. So either he was giving tuition to Jeff Bezos, I do not know. But such nicely written, na? Whereas my CV is on very practical things that I've done. So please be very careful about CV embellishments. There is also a racket that is going on. So apart from this work, I also consult with various companies and GCCs who are getting set up, who are hiring people so that I sit in and observe and evaluate candidates who are probably not cheating. They actually there is a Discord server that is available in 3 states, one in Indore, Hyderabad, and in Bangalore, where they have if you pay $20, you will get the question banks of AI questions asked in top 5 companies, and the list is growing. I have also done stuff where I've asked the candidate to pick his or her laptop and swing around the room. Um, Only to find that there was a phone on top of the laptop which they have pasted. Right? So it is evolving, but so we have to. And more importantly, don't believe just because it is on Medium or LinkedIn, especially don't believe if it's on LinkedIn and on these launches that are taking place. GPT-5 has been launched. You are bombarded that GPT-5 kitna acha hai, ye hai, wo hai. But out of GPT 3.5 to 5, GPT-5 has the highest amount of hallucinations. They're facing that. And in fact, a lot of it is written on Aksif, but for some strange reason, the India media is not covering it. So you find out for your own, avoid the copycat syndrome. Now, very simply, like I said, use this as your reference that where do I use an agent, where do I use an LLM, and where do I use my AI selection, right? Especially in the market. So AI agent is like, let's say I want to solve small bits of the problem, like a Lego or like a Zenga. Then in that case, only if that part is automated, then probably my journey will become faster. But if you thematically want to reduce the overall timeline, then you'll have to create these little choto minions who will go ahead and solve and reduce the time. But yeah, if let's say somebody is stamping, authenticating, scanning, and that's happening manually, and you're paying thousands and thousands and millions of dollars for that, then having this particular agent for the time being is very, very useful. On LLMs, please understand that LLMs are important. There is a school of thought that says, hey, you know what, let's go for non-LLM. If you have a system where we have to identify patterns, like let's say fraud management, or you want to understand patterns that why does the system infra keeps flexing during high volumes, where exactly are we failing? How is the customer behaving? Then please go for LLMs. I also have a way where you can get your LLM to learn on its own without using reinforced learning. So keep it very lean, very low code. Now, In an LLM, you can guarantee to 97.3% that it will not hallucinate. There are ways to do that. When I'll share my white paper with you on how to do that. Again, कोई coding का जरूरत नहीं. And then finally, non-LLM vibe coding. I'll also show you an example that I just did yesterday for a venture capital firm. It took me 3 hours. Normal project quotation given to them by Infosys, and if anybody is there, was 8 months. So that is the difference that is there. Um, they say it lacks LLM speed. Not true. If you can give it to people and you teach them that, they can run it at different speeds, and it will work. The only problem is it will not do pattern recognition. So any idea, any intelligence that you want to use further, which the LLM provides, that you will lose out. Now, there are few things that that's really rampantly used in the UK and US, but probably not coming into India yet. And I'm giving you those golden nuggets so that the rest of 2025 and 2026 go well. And they are these three things. Number one, whenever you have a website or you have LinkedIn, they say, right, we have to put hashtags, keywords, falana falana, right? That's called Search India, search optimization, which is SEO. Now we are moving to Rao. Again, one Marathi name, Rao Sahib. Now, what is Rao Sahib? Rao Sahib is Retrieval Augmentation Array. You are now evolving around keywords. So, may I give you again a Swiggy practical example? Abhi, let's say, Sandeep ji, today night you feel that, चलो आज कुल्फी खाया जाए, right? बहुत दिन से ये पितृपक्ष चल रहा है, let us सूखा सूखा खा के अभी let's have कुल्फी. So now you are not saying Kulfi places near me. That is SEO. Your question is, this is my location. Location is active. They say, please tell me Malai Pista Kulfi on stick available near my house after 11 p.m. today. That is retrievable augmentation, and the optimization is the way you will find the websites. That's how users are moving into right now. So you have to think about Rao in case you are writing a LinkedIn post. You also have to write a hashtag se nahi chalega. The algorithm, in fact, the algorithm will be changing after the setup. Next part of it is keep embeddings separate in your RAG. Now what happens is that everybody starts writing the code. I want to find out the entity, and I've recently reviewed one solution where they had written almost 911,000 lines of code just to determine कि invoice कौन से company का है. This is for Adani Group. Why? Why? My point is, if you say if, then, like you said, GPS codes as well, right? So just if then sentences are used and some mathematical logics are used separately, then that would be much more beneficial. Why? Because if there is a downtime, if there is a regulation change like GST, you can make an agent for GST. So at any time the rules change, everything else works. Only that part can be removed and changed. There's no downtime whatsoever. And then when you're looking at this particular table, you choose based on your use case, not because I want to use LLM, non-LLM. You see that I need to learn from pattern. I want to find out why a customer is behaving, when my payments are coming, then always go for LLM regardless of what the market says. But if you want a quick analysis, like please tell me about Sugita Madan and how helpful she's been to Nupur in structuring her thought. Then in that case, why are you investing in LLM? Because you will invest in a vibe coding. What's the vibe? But in order to do that, you have to know the domain. I don't know why it's not moving. Okay. So very short, three things. I always say that there are some very strategic prompt techniques that is only based on your use case and the outcome. They say, there's a saying in Delhi कि कुत्ते को पकड़ना है तो कुत्ते का पूंछ मत पकड़ो. right? Means if you want to catch the dog, don't catch the tail. But I would say please do, because that is the tail end of the problem. Start with the tail end of the problem, because the dog will stretch you and move you ahead to where you need to go. So focus on and have that conversation with the business, that what they want to achieve. And lastly, make sure that your leadership also writes the prompt. Like I had gone to London recently, and what I did is that I made my CEO write a prompt on how she can improve revenue in Europe in spite of two other competitors having similar products right in front. So that showed that she's a biochemist, and she's one of the people who have contributed to the COVID vaccine. But when she saw that this is English, and then she asked me one question: why do I need you as an AI person if I can do this myself? I said, ma'am, you need me because I tell you how easy it is. So now that is what the strategic thinking. All of us have to do that strategic and critical thinking on how to make it easy. By itself, it isn't easy, but our brain process and our value, as an eminent person said, is how we do the work and how the end user perceives it, right? Now, to do that, this is a seven-step process. Okay, very much like a puja or a devotion vidhi. There's a step by step by step. In our team we call it havan karenge, havan karenge. So this is a seven-step process. First is what the end goal looks like. Then, how will the users be happy? They have to write it down that I will be happy if these things are met. So what happens? It is like there won't be any dowry harassment cases later on. People are happy, you delivered, and their hearts and minds are also aligned. Second thing is, people in strategic consulting come in and they will tell you one dialogue. The organization has limited resources, they cannot do all your AI projects. So we have to prioritize. Have you heard that? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Okay. Which projects do actually get prioritized? Truthfully, yeah, we are in a true zone here. Boss's favorites, that is in group 1. Consultants favorites, group 2. और अगर कुछ पैसा बच गया तो जो ज्यादा कंप्लेन करता है उसको. Yes, that is usually the order, right? Everybody. Ananda sir, thank you for agreeing. Your smile speaks volumes and makes me vindicated. Now what I said was झंझट को ही छोड़ो, because we can't change human mindset, right? So what we did this time, thoda alag se, is that we grouped all the project inventory. We've got 2,799 AI use cases, and everybody wants to do AI, right? And everybody said that, we will reduce our workforce by 50%. So what I found out in GSK is that if you are going to implement all of them, it would take us almost 1 billion, and we will come down from 89,000 workforce to 26,000 workforce. If we had to believe that dream, matlab you understand kya hahakar ho jata. So what we said is that we will group it into 3 groups. One is sand, which is applicable for everybody. Every employee has a touch point. Second is pebbles, which are in departments. And rocks, which are big ticket items where it impacts the longevity and continuity of the organization. Right? So every time when a new use case comes in, we look at it as categorizing into any 3. If it doesn't meet any of these 3, sorry, bye, agle baar. And last but not the least, in the sand, like for example, this Wala example that I was giving, that was called sand. Ki help desk ke kya hi chahiye logo ko, right? But what they didn't realize is that because of the help desk was getting solved, the master data issues got solved, the invoice payment delays got solved, vendor suing got solved, and overall operations headcount went down. The other questions, the accounting team that was using bulk requests, those were also getting solved. Karte, 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 it created a domino effect. But in the beginning, always group into sand, pebbles and rocks. इसमें क्या होगा? The benefit is that you don't get into the politics. And in AI, 90% of your product becoming live, your product getting funded, your product getting adopted is the people and the process. P2 को मत भूल जाना. It is very, very powerful. Whether you have AI or, you know, it's like Jet Li coming to, Jackie Chan coming to a gunfight and saying, मेरे को kung fu आता है, मर जाएगा वो. Right? It doesn't matter how good your kung fu is. It's the people and the process. And then there is this framework called Scamper, whereas you have an existing code, substitute, you have an existing functionality, combine and adapt it to your context. And that can happen through prompts. Then you modify it a bit, index it, put it to use, observe. And this is where we called, beta phase or red herring phases, where we, even a very raw tuta puta solution, we give it to the users and give the instruction. Please test it till you break it. Like we do net practice in cricket, right? This is the net practice before you go live. So before you hit UAT, we say जो गाली खाना है पहले खा लिए privately. ठीक है, फिर नाक मुंह छुपा के we have gone forward. We'll do it properly and then we will release it out in sprints rather than getting hit very badly. And why do we do this? So as to allow us step 0. Last but not the least, GitHub hygiene. Make sure that the code is rendered properly. इधर उधर orphan code घूम नहीं रहा है, because one of the biggest problems we've seen is किसी ने एक orphan code deploy कर दिया and months of work is gone down the drain. Another thing that I've learned in GSK and my other firms in Standard Chartered is I started this concept of prompt marketplace. Wonderful prompts, 17,200 prompts. But do you know, Ajay, what happened? After I put the prompts in place, people are saying, Mera prompt le liya. I said, Mera prompt le liya, you should be happy. So he said, Mujhe kya mila? So it becomes like, Babuji ki zameen ke upar do bhai lad rahe wala scene. So what we did is that we gamified it and we said, okay, the number of times you use the prompt, you will get an additional star and counter, like a Swiggy rating. And whoever gets in that particular month, they'll get called out at kiosks and they'll get a small gift. The gift idea was cancelled by the management. But even the fact that they're getting called out in various kiosks in the canteen or on the floors, that was a big hit. And the adoption rate increased almost 3 times. People started contributing to it. So you have to think about the engagement part of it and the feedback loop part of it as well. Again, very lean engineering. If a developer tells you कि उसको LLM बनाने के लिए 6 weeks लगी है, please get a new developer. An LLM can be built in 5 days. If it's a new developer, उसको maximum 1 sprint, which is 10 days लगेगा. At that point of time, please make sure you're using something called as a rapid application development. These are done by F1 teams जब they want to change the tires. Really, really fast, low, not very heavy engineering code and no frills. Keep it very, very succinct कि मुझे output दिखाना है. And finally, which I am understanding, there is a thing called responsible AI team. They are the compliance team. And you will see they have these mind-numbing Excel sheets. And I've seen that only here in India. I don't know why they use it as a police chowki. Responsible AI was meant to start at step 0 to enable you. It is like the vitamin syrup that our coach feeds us before our tournament. But here, I don't know for what reasons that in AI projects, the responsible AI comes before go live or during UAT. And there is disruption, there is slowdown, isse approval, usse approval. It feels like we have watched the Rajnikant movie Shivaji. He gets those 50 crores and he's running from department to department. And, like the gentleman from Gujarat, he said, Madam, agar meri churiyan hoti, main todta against the wall. That why did I do AI? That sort of frustration we go through. For that also, whenever you're writing a code or a prompt, you have to put some points in place which meet the responsible AI, which you can take screenshots and prove. Usme, the AI timeline becomes almost 1/20th of the time and effort that you take right now. And that's why I said that you think about scaling security on day one. And last but not the least, like I said, हमारा दर्द का रिश्ता है. Please reach out to these groups like this to understand what their journey is. You will understand the facts, not LinkedIn school or WhatsApp university. You will understand actually how it hurt them and how they solved it, or they can also learn from you. So that's where you build a community. We have a similar community like that called the Napa Valley Tech Community. We very very strong thought leaders there, and itna control nahi hai udhar, where we actually try out an experiment and give. Now, Scamper framework is a framework where you are substituting, combining, and modifying ideas. Ankh framework is a structured approach where exactly like we are saying that we first analyze the problem. And in this case, I will show you, Sugita, I will take a few more minutes. I will show you on a GPT on how we can analyze it and navigate it, knowing and harnessing. It gives you a little bit of a direction like how our Google Maps provides. And Seal is something you need a little more technology wherein you are helping your LLM and indexing your LLM to start learning and keep listening on patterns. I'm actually working with the Gujarat Titans. तो किसी को IPL की टिकट चाहिए तो बताना. We are trying to move them from leagues to IPL. And this is what we are learning from their sports batting average, as you call it. So, use cases are galore. Again, this is a use case that I talked about on Vala. I'll not walk through every detail, but this is for you to read. I also talked about what hardships I faced. It's not been a smooth journey. When we started this program, uh, it was very good. Like I said, around 20-24K, as Sonali was saying, we charged for the first MVP. And then suddenly we were told that the point 0.5, that wait for 18 months. 18 months, imagine. November we went live last year. Wait for 18 months because ServiceNow is coming. And the ServiceNow solution was $4.9 million per year that you have to pay. So what we did is that 4.9 million, they were like, oh my God, how expensive. And then McKinsey said that they will do this in 1.14. And for some reason, the PPT that came to me didn't have M. It was 1.14 M pounds. तो मैंने बोला 1.14K ही डाल देती हूँ. अभी, otherwise my entire team will get fired. So we did that. And the staff has brought down to 71 and 108. But do you know what the remaining staff are? Out of 108, it's 71 staff. Only 9 people have left. The rest of them are in my team. We are doing more projects. So I got more 13 projects based on the same stuff that nobody wanted. They said, "Arey, इनको तो AI ने replace कर दिया." I said, no, not replace. They've been rebadged. Now they have seen AI. Nobody knows driving better than those who are driving on the roads of India. मैं इसको लेती हूँ. And we got them rebadged. And as a result, it has created a pull and a trust effect. And we also get funded. Otherwise, funding was a huge problem. We had to literally scrounge. But my story is this, is that the reason we were able to do it is because we wireframed in 13 days flat. And I'll show you using the Ankh framework how that works. Finally, the scaling, the security was done on day one. So this is concept of async. That is not used by developers whom you're hiring. In the interview, you are always asking, do you know LLM? Do you know RAG? Do you know vectors? Do you know AI service search? Do you know GCP? Do you know Vertex AI? Do you know Grok? Do you know Gemini? Do you know Claude? But how many hours do you know how to scale? What is the functionality for scaling? How will you write a math function? How will you ensure that it is correct? These questions, please ask. Because that is the difference between your solution not only going technically live, business live, and उसके बाद एक बहुत बड़ा step है called adoption. Just celebrating a go live party is not enough. The ROI starts coming 3 months after the users have started engaging with it more than 90%. Right? So go lives in AI don't matter. It's the adoption that matters. So finally, what I've done is I've also replicated the people whom they say no, it's the winning of the underdog, literally speaking story. So people who got moved from that department, they knew how sales was being done, they knew how procurement was being done. They worked along with me to focus on Europe. And in June 2025, GSK made additional 52 billion pounds from just 3 products. And we reduced our spend on advertising by 13%. That's a huge margin. And I'm just saying that is possible through vibe coding with little bit of LLM. And that's profit. Now think about it. I worked for so long and I saved 14 million. I went through so much of politics, right? See, we all felt the pressure. But do you know this revenue earning of 48 million pounds? How long did it take? Any guesses? 5 months end to end.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's it. And you know what? They loved us for it. They said, हाँ पैसा लेके आओ. One person very lovingly said, आप तो हमारे लक्ष्मी जी हो. I was like, what? You guys were like after my job, literally. You wanted my entire team gone because we went anti-pattern. That paradigm shift takes place much more faster because remember something, sirs. Humbly, I will say nobody got promoted for saving cost. You will get awards, but you'll not get promoted. But everybody loves the person who gets in the revenue. ये आर की स्टोरी है फॉर पीपल हु आर फ्रॉम हैदराबाद RRR. Revenue returns resonance. I don't know how Rajamouli sir did it, but it's an RRR story always. So cost saving is good, but those are for small time players. If you really want to shine, these are the overall steps. First is you have to have your pilots fast. You ask the right questions and think complex, strategize, and make it simple. That if your 10-year-old can understand, then probably it has clicked. Because what we found out is that starting this year, people's attention has gone down to 3.8 seconds. So the message should be 3.8 seconds, clickbait, and that's it to understand. Nothing more than that. People want to know what part of the journey it is. So right in the beginning, and I'm honestly, I had the good fortune of meeting Mr. Rajamouli, and he said something that the success of Bahubali is not a Raja Rani story. There is not much of a storyline. But if you see every actor, junior actor, background actor, Prabhas, or anyone else, they have a timing and they have a recall. Okay, how many of y'all have watched Bahubali and you remember the scene where the statue is falling? Right? And the rope is slipping, right? Do you know that crisis situation? You can feel that, right? On your skin, like, yeah, it is slipping, and those people are like, ah, right? What has happened? He comes, holds, the workers, you can see them work, and you can understand from the next movie that they have roles there as well. The connectivity is there. I think he's that guy who was struggling with the rope. And they say, Bahubali, Bahubali, Bahubali. Now tell me something. Honestly, in real life, इतने बार बाहुबली बोलने का जरूरत है? नहीं. The reason is that he has recalled it 3 times. That's called branding and creating recall. So when your solutions are bite size and your stakeholders, not you, are talking about your solution, you build trust. And our PM uses that beautifully. People talk about him more than he talks about himself. He just says, I'm a very poor person and mopes around. You tell about your troubles, but let other people tell about your solutions. Now, why would they do that? What's in it for them? Right in the beginning, when you're doing the step zero, on my earlier slide that I showed you, you have to make sure that every business person is completely in the buy-in of what their role is. The reality of it is that, do I really need the business to come and give me a critique so early in the project? No. But they feel plugged in. They feel that they have a say, and they do have a say. And they say that after 10 days, I will show you the results. What happens is that, number one, you reduce backstabbing, you reduce incidences of your projects and the funding getting pulled out. And third is everybody knows what you're doing. So rumor mongering or bad news spreading with your competitors, which is very common in corporate, that doesn't happen. Why? It's because there will be people pro you and people anti you, right? But there are so many people talking good about the solution which you have done, they will not let it go. So as a result, regardless of whatever happens, you are assured of success and insulation. In corporate, insulation is so important, and that we all face. And who's looking out for me? So using these are relentless to be done. And I have myself started off something which is something close to me. It's called the operational readiness. So I used to run a firm called as a Jumpstart AI, and it's called the Onion framework. It's being used by ISRO as well for its doctor development. Is that at every place you do an operational readiness check, however small the component, that agar 400 user aa gaye, will I be able to use it? If not, then what else I need to be done, and put that into the sprint. You need not solve it now, but you put that into the sprint. Now, if you want a very similar sort of a journey, repeatable with an IP, with an ROU, and more features to be added, then I'm here. And I would also like to hear your stories as well. And just as a takeaway, Sweet, I'm so sorry. I'm having a problem with my keys for
No
some
worries, we
reason.
can, yeah.
Yeah. So I would only say that this was in my company and in the Atal Bihari Incubation Center, they call me AI doctor, Dr. Nupur, they call me AI doctor. So more than happy to get connected with you. And this is a culmination of 15 years of non-stop effort in ML and correlating the facts. In fact, please do not feel bad. I'm not giving a religious thing, and I'm not from the BJP or RSS. But many years back, when my father passed away, somebody, a religious person, gave me the Garud Puran. And Garud Puran, there's a saying in Hindu that if you read it, you'll die. And it was in such a bad state. It was in such a bad state that I thought, okay, read karne se at least I will die intelligent. So if there is one ghost with a glowing head, that will be me. I'll be easily identifiable. But when I read that book, I realized that your old self will die, not you will die. And later, or many years later, there was a small um center in Dharmasala. They were trying to decode. They found some very old manuscripts of something called as the Tibetan Book of the Dead. Very old manuscript. And they said, we are going to do a OCR scanning. And I said, I've done this before for Pentagon. I'll do it for you. So went there and started scanning and all. And then I said, okay, can you please match? And we started finding out that there's something called as spectral graphs. Using that, within 17 hours, we were able to connect that document. That document was not written in sheets. It had to be learned like a conical pyramid. So how do I understand the vector and the dimensions? That was done through spectral graphs. When we had asked somebody in the US, in University of Chicago Urban Champaign, they said that they have to use something called as the frontier supercomputer to do this. We have used around 11 Jetsons, NVIDIA Jetsons, stacked together. Jetson 25,000 रुपए का होता है. Stacked together, connected together, and we've solved this. And we've also been able to connect that, it is exactly almost very similar to what our Garud Puran says. This is something that I did. And in fact, if you all are interested, if you all are planning a trip to Dharmasala or to the Kushal Nagar monastery on your way to Kurg, you will find that they have this AI solution, and perhaps you'll see my name there. So I'm just saying that I just stumbled onto it. I'm just like you, but as like I said, na, ki life has given me in the right places at the right time, and because I am not very intelligent, but I'm resourceful and hardworking. Maybe that's why where I am. And yes, I do take guidances from Sugita, and these frameworks really help me in moving forward. So I hope that has helped. And if anybody wants to see the prompt, do let me know. I will show it right in front of you. I only promise is you have to try it yourself.
Thank you so much for sharing all these details, Nupur. It's been really groundbreaking. Have you all found value from what Nupur shared? Let me know, let me know in the chat box. Let's hear from you. Can we know in the chat box or by your virtual thumbs?
I'm seeing
Yes,
such lovely emoticons going. So, अगले बार you are taking a decision on Swiggy. Remember, it's an AI problem you are solving.
Nupur, that's been really a very useful session. And I think the way you have shared things, it brings more light to what people really keep thinking about is, oh, something which is too hard to achieve can actually be worked upon with great results. Uh, Please feel free to follow Nupur on LinkedIn, connect with her, and stay connected with her as you want to learn more. Nupur, we've been a little over time, but one parting message you'd like to share with all of our community. What will it be? In today's time, seeing the way AI trends are moving, what is that one big message you'd like to share?
I would say two, which I'm also doing myself. In today's world, there is very much noise and not much message. Find your own truth, and whatever that truth is, that is your comfort space. You have to find that way on your own. Find your own truth. Take that effort. Lagega maybe reaching out, researching, talking to people. Find your own truth. That is going to be a lifesaver. You can't believe whatever is out there. That is my first message. The second message is something that my grandmother said. And please, gentlemen and ladies, don't feel offended. She used to say, don't tell the mother how to become a parent. You know your domain. You are leaders. You know your tech. Please don't let AI tell you how you should do your work. Okay, this is one part. And second part is whenever I feel very proud that I have achieved so much and I'm this falana person. Um, you know, this is a dialogue that my mom used to tell my dad when he used to come back from MBA work. He said, "पता है आपको दुनिया में इतना ही काम नहीं है जितना आप बता रहे हो, right? So keep it simple, keep it relatable. Because if you forget that triple R word, right? Returns, revenue, relatable, and resonance, then क्या ही करो? You will be talking the talk, not walking the talk. But these are the simple things that I like, and that keeps me humble and grounded. That same thing
Thank you
can
so
help
much
you
for
as well.
sharing that, Nupur.
Come stress hoga, you will look very beautiful, very handsome, and people will not know why on God's earth you are happy while doing AI. So that's the two things. But Sugita, thank you for giving me this time. Um, I would, if you can give me 1 minute more, I want to show them the prompt. That will really
Absolutely, absolutely. Go ahead. It's been a very valuable session, and I think as much value as people can take, why not? I hope it's okay with all of you.
See, they say now when you do yourself, you'll get to. So everybody's got OpenAI. Can you do it along with me?
Please log on to your OpenAI ChatGPT windows.
Okay, I'll show you one thing right now. Okay. Let me know if you're able to see, or should I increase the. Able to see my screen?
Yes, it's visible.
So you are a venture capitalist. So the use cases that I'm got lots of money, and I'm doing this for a venture capitalist analyst who wants to invest money in startups, and they want to get a analysis on which startup they should invest in. So what you will ask for? Balance sheet. Next, you will ask for that. What is the market saying about them? Which line are they into? How will I get the outputs? And then finally, how will I use them for use? This is this arc framework that I talked about, right? So can you give me a use case, and I will immediately clear something for you right now.
Who would like to go?
Give me a
Another
use
10
case.
minutes, we have to close the room. And before that, who would like to go? Any volunteers? Okay, whom do we have on the screen? Nitin. Yes,
Hey, Nitin.
Nitin.
Yeah.
Let's have you on the screen.
You're on mute.
Nitin, can you speak? Try now. Try speaking now.
Okay, yes, yes.
Yeah, cool.
Ma'am, I have a very small use case right now which I'm going through.
Uh-huh.
I'm a
Right.
similar situation which you are into right now. I'm not sure if it is exactly relatable right now, but if it's not, we can skip. Um, I'm a platform engineering manager in Oracle, and my team is mostly into platform. And currently, what is happening is we are moving from Genesis to Zoom CCAS. So
Hmm.
what is the current like problem is that after the CCAS will completely occupy our place, there would be hardly any place for my PE team. So we are also going through certain project, which is one of the project is called Smart Contact Center,
Hmm.
SCC. And in that, my manager has come up to me and said that in 3 months, if you can bring pain points to the infra pain points in next 3 months under our senior executive
Okay.
org,
Okay. Wait,
so
wait,
that
hold,
will,
hold, hold, hold,
yeah,
hold. So I'll structure this out, okay?
yes, ma'am.
Imagine you are a, what's your role? What's your
Uh,
manager's role? What's your manager's role?
my manager's role is development director, but she owns a lot of things right now.
Okay, from a development. So what is this, gentleman? It is persona. Who are you making it for? So what happens, Anandaji? Remember I told you about the context. Kiss context ke to? Ha, now go ahead. And
So
you
the
want to?
yeah, so ask is right now. I'm working on it right now, and ask is that our senior executive VP, if I can go through the entire organization of my senior executive VP and understand what is the infrastructure pain points where we can automate and bring some productivity in the overall vision of
No, but what are your
Oracle.
stacks? What are your stacks? Marketing,
Um,
uh,
Ma'am,
reconnaissance.
can you like in when you are talking about stacks, what exactly you want to hear? Like,
What are the tech, uh, you know, of all the
okay,
infrastructure pain points
okay,
in their line of remit and
okay.
their
So, ma'am, the infrastructure
remediation?
pain points are something like as of now, like it's majorly around the OCI, like cloud, where we are deployment is one of the challenge currently, We have some limitations in the deployment, like components, where a single it's a single pipeline for dev, set, and prod, where once up once or one single request is been gone in the pipeline, you cannot go with another request, which until the first one is completed. This is one of the pain point, which as I told you, I've got this 2 days back, and I'm already starting checking on the my initial steps are that I'm checking on the all the incident in last 1 year which have come into the queue, and I want to see that how much time we have invested in giving the solutions on those particular problems. So my first step is that. And being not into analytics, I do not have an analytic person right now aligned
Hey,
to me.
Sarji, that's why I'm here. No, Sugita ma'am, and that's why I called you. I'm just showing you right now.
Yes,
Pehla
yes.
hai, you got this output, right? What are the things you have to look into? Physical assets, digital. So this is also giving you a deck-like stuff, right? I want to do a reconnaissance study. Remember these words.
Okay.
Then, Sugita, I will also share the prompt so that probably people can replace it with their languages. So this is your
Sure,
deck
sure.
study that you have, and you have a planning, construction, operations, energy, logistic, blah, 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 blah. Now what happens is, after this you say, create a report. While doing so, create a FMEA, failure mode evaluation analysis of existing incidents data for the past 1 year and use the tree of thought correlation between contributing factors, between incident root causes and thematic cures. Also find out periodic issues and patterns that can be remediated or need immediate intervention by rank. Okay, so far good.
Yes, ma'am.
Create this into a executive report and a PPT. That will become very heavy, but executive report for board review and funding. Ensure that there is a factual accuracy and new solution exploration from, if you don't mind, which is your company's name?
Ma'am, Oracle.
Oh, based on Oracle's competitors and Oracle's AI 2030 vision, or sorry, 2027 vision. 2027 vision. Use now. Why do I put this? This is PTOL and WOE scores are something called weight of equivalence. Matlab, after reading the Ramayana, you should not ask whose father is Sita. Okay, so WOE scores is every story sunne ke baad, it should be for context, right?
Okay, ma'am.
And PTOL score is arithmetical accuracy should be there. The highest is 4. I'm giving mota mota so there is able to explore. Now here is the part. Ye to I also can write, you also can write. Now, how will make Nitin a superstar? Superstar may you will say that please use, and this you will not say outside this group, okay? This is a mind job. This is dangerous, but it is part of. So you will get this in segments and it also processes it faster.
Okay.
So this is your prompt, execute. That is all the vibe coding that you need. So tree of thought is, we say na माँ का मौसी का भांजे का लड़का, भांजे की बेटी बहुत सुशील लड़की है. Now that is tree of thought. Now, or they will say that, like there's a fight between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu and Maharashtra, that sambar belongs to what? Because we have Amti, they have sambar, and then together when Shivaji and Venkoji met, there the sambar was created. So that debate is going on. But how to correlate different factors? That is tree of thought. There's also something called as graph of thought. But right now, I'm just wanting to show you that has taken less than 14 seconds. This is what your output looks like. Do you see the ranks?
Yes, ma'am.
Nathan Saab, you owe me coffee.
Yes,
Excellent.
definitely, ma'am.
Pattern recognition. Do you see this?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you see this?
Yes, ma'am. Competitive intelligence.
आपने मांग भी लिया पैसा. You have to be more optimistic about that given the Garibo ka AI. And this is the tagline, 3-second memory hooks. Yeah, you don't have to show your boss. You can create the PPT. And the patterns, what it tells. Now, what you have to do is that you have to now plug in like an Excel sheet. Go into, if you're going into Grok, go to Grok, and there you have something called, as you see this, private mode. Go to private mode and just upload the Excel of all your incidents
Okay, ma'am.
and write the same thing that I want to find out patterns.
Sure, ma'am.
In
Got it.
within 90 seconds or so, it will provide you.
You have solved a very big problem for me because in Monday meeting I was about to go and ask for an analytic guy for me, but
Why?
you have already solved my problem.
Yeah, this is what I do now. Now again, I'd stop sharing this, but um, because I was able to do this, Sukita, before I kind of moved uh, on my send off party, one business VP, Will Benson, he said, Nupurji, I want to give you one. He's got an Indian wife, and she told him to tell me that he said, how am I as an AI leader? So they said that I'm like Crime Master Gogo. So for those people who have seen Andaz Apna Apna, Crime Master Gogo is that कोई भी जाता है AI का use case उठा के लेके आता है. So you have to be like Crime Master है, आया हो तो कुछ तो लूट के लेके जाऊंगा. So Nitin ji, I'm not giving the lutofying, but you have kind of lutofied the solution and taken. You
Sure,
don't need
ma'am.
an analyst. Be hands-on yourself.
Sure, ma'am. Can you ping that prompt
Yes,
you
yes,
have?
I will. But you have to connect with me on LinkedIn. तभी मिलेगा.
Definitely, ma'am.
ऐसा ऐसा नहीं
Request is
मिलेगा.
on the way.
Prompt is also on the way. Sugita, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much, Nupur. Thanks, Nitin. So you found it useful, Nitin?
Yes, ma'am. Definitely, 100%.
Yes. All right. So how about the rest of you? Did you find the session useful?
I see a
Let
lot of
me
smiling faces.
let me hear from you in the chat box or by virtue of your emoticons. Lovely, lovely. So Rekha, Naveen, Gaurav, Bhuban, lovely. Good to hear that. Nupur, it was indeed a very profound session, and I must applaud your sense of humor and the way you bring all the old stories into your conversation. I think this is something we all need to learn. So thank you so much. God bless you for today, and we'll be
But
connecting.
Sugita ma'am, I would tell you, I was also in a very, very dark place, gentlemen and ladies. When my project got stalled, I had reached out to Sugita ki, I had also consulted an astrologer, gentleman. So it is not so hunky-dory. So they said, "तुम्हारे गए जन्म का पाप है." And I said, "No, no, deployment आज हुआ है, गए जन्म में नहीं हुआ है. So why am I suffering now?" So then Sugita has been very, very pivotal in, sometimes you have to sequence things out. So that has also been very helpful, and eh, she has been very pivotal in this journey and not giving up. So in spite of the politics, in spite of whatever happens, in spite of tech changing and whatever comes your way. So अगले बार you want to have kulfi at 11 o'clock at night close to your home, or you want to partially order from Swiggy, please do remember me and remember me in your prayers.
Thank
Thank you,
you so
Sugita
much,
ma'am.
Nupur. God bless you. Looking forward to connecting offline with you. Please follow Nupur on LinkedIn. A lot to learn from her, an amazing leader in AI. Thank you. Have a great day ahead. Bye bye. God bless.